Hey guys, welcome to a very special and kind of off the schedule video of me showing you how I put my centerpieces for the autumn season together. So if you remember, I said it in my last Tablecloth vlog, and also I posted some pictures on my Facebook page. I was in the forest with my mom collecting different stuff for some decorations, and here you can see me in this video putting it all together and have a look and maybe just some inspiration on how to do some very cost-saving decorations for your dinner table or a couch table for autumn. So the last almost like 4 or 5 days, no, it's 4 days. Is it? No, hold on. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now I gotta count on my fingers. Monday, Tuesday, it's Wednesday. So it's been 6 weeks that everything has been drying up in my studio, and it's just simple air drying. And still the rose hips and everything look very colorful, very fresh, but they are dry enough to keep the same way throughout the season, so I don't need to use anything like fixative spray or whatever to preserve all the pieces that I use. So the only thing that I did put in that I did actually buy, and I guess at some point you might just have that in your household, is that candle. I only do buy candles whenever I don't have any anymore, and I do have a tradition that on my dinner table, when we have dinner, my husband and I, we always have a candle lit to keep the romance going, you know? So what I do here is I shorten and separate the different sprigs of the heather. And I do have 2 different kinds of heather. One is more lavender and one is more pinkish. So I just arrange everything on the inner side of that bark together with some moss that I dried off, and I'm just very loosely putting everything down. You could also glue those things down if you have maybe kids in the house that could, be a little more forceful on the table and maybe knock something over. But in my household, it's just my husband and I guess he's adult and sensitive enough to not knock anything over, so I don't need to use any glues here. So I'm just arranging all of the, or very many of the things that I collected in the forest, the moss, the heather, and the rose hips, mostly the buds, but I do also have the leaves, and I'm just arranging them to look, well, nice to the eye, and I guess you find out the perfect arrangement once you go into it. What I find very cool is that the bark inside has very interesting patterns that were done by some woodworm. And I really like how that came out or is still visible after the bark is dry. So I also added 2 other pieces, and I guess I just have to look up what it means. Beech nut. Okay. So I just checked it out. I also put down 2 capsules of the beech nut, as you just saw, and I'm just putting everything to the side, and I go for number 2. So these are smaller pieces of the bark, and I'm not gonna glue them together but make a 3-piece centerpiece for my coffee table, because that one is of a different size than my dinner table, so the 3 pieces actually work pretty well there. Also there I bought a candle, but I would have bought it anyways, no matter if I made an autumn decoration or not. So still, again, everything is from the forest. I do have a different kind of a moss on the right hand side of the bark right now. It did not dry as well as the flatter kind of the moss, but I guess it still worked out okay. So I'm just opening up that candle. I will definitely keep that glass jar once the candle is burned down. And I'm again just trying different things, what to position where, how it looks nicest to the eye, and I'm just going to use all of the rest of the berries and the heather, and I'm going to bring in a couple of leaves that I dried off between book pages. And those leaves were mainly from blackberry and raspberry bushes, as well as the tree that you see with the on that bark that I'm working on now. There's a different kind of berries, so the leaves from that tree, and I don't know what the name is, I'm sorry. Maybe anybody can point me to the name. I'm not gonna use those grains that I had dried and did use last year on my decoration, so I guess it just didn't fit because I was more in a forest theme this year and not the harvest autumn theme. So I'm just using different kinds of leaves. These are the ones that I said I dried, and it was, like I said, 6 days in a normal room temperature, and I did not have to do anything. I just have it lay there on the floor of my studio. I'm in the roof of the store of the apartment, so I have quite dry air in my studio, but it's only medium warm. It's not the hottest place on earth. At least not in autumn. It was in summer though. So I guess if you can, well, arrange that kind of room temperature or surroundings for your pieces to dry off, you should have a very similar outcome in the end. And again, it's very cheap. You can enjoy nature for an hour or two, just roam through the forest, take somebody with you that you like to chat to, so time flies by even more, and you just collect certain things that you see and that you like, and you're gonna dry them off, and that's that pretty much. And finally you just make some decorations, and I think nature is the greatest source for decorations of any kind. I like natural stuff way more than plastics or things that are nowhere to be found in nature. So I guess this kind of decoration really did it for me this year. So I'm very happy with the way it behaves, all the material behaves while you put everything together. It's quite bendable, it's manipulative, like it's quite easy to put those things together. And as you can see, I did not even speed up that video. I didn't cut any large pieces out of the video, just the ones where I change and focus on the tables later on. I cut some bits there, but all in all, this was like 15 minutes, 18 minutes, and you're done. And I guess that's a very nice way to just decorate something. You don't need hours to do something, and still it looks very lovely. And I guess it's just simple, it's very cheap, and it's just fun to do. So at least I liked it a lot. So maybe maybe you have some other preferences, or maybe you just get inspired by that kind of video. I know I'm quite early in the year, but in my region autumn pretty much just started, or it's like Indian summer, but it's not the American way of Indian summer. I live in the northern part of Germany, so it's quite different here. But I very much like the kind of autumn, late summer, early autumn that we have right now. So very much inspired. What I bought, because I don't have any, are tablecloths, and I do not have any like made from real cloth because I have so many different tables. But we can buy like they're made of paper or like a very strong napkin, and I bought the one that says 120 by 160 centimeters, so I can cover both tables with one piece of the tablecloth. And I very much like those because when you spill something on it, you just reuse the parts that are clean, you throw away the parts that are not good anymore. At least that's what you do when you're an artist, you reuse them. And this is, by the way, the same thing that I used in my art journal in August on the second week. So you know what it looks like when you just unpack it and use it for what it's actually supposed to be used. So this tablecloth I'm just cutting into 2 pieces because I want to use it on 2 different tables. And you will see in a second that the dimensions of both tables are very, very different, and still it works out just the same way. It's just as pleasant to the eye, and it's very, very simple. It's not hard to do, and it makes your tables just look nice and elegant and classy and seasonal, and still it is very unique and modern what you do, because you combine the things of nature and that modern thing that is a paper tablecloth. So if you have like real tablecloth for your tables, and you can manage to use them in the same kind of way or make it look very similar than I do with my table, I think that would just be the greatest thing ever. Like I said, I don't have any real tablecloths, but at one point, of course I will. I do have very dark brown furniture in my living room, so I think that fits even better with, or it completes the whole thing, having the table piece look natural. Just because I have a wooden table, it's a dark brown, it fits very well with the bark of the pine tree. So you might want to adjust the bark that you have with the color of table you put it on. Maybe you have a walnut table, so maybe you have walnut trees around your area where you can have a piece of bark without hurting the trees. So all of these pieces that I collected were fallen down, so I did not cut into any tree. I just collected everything that I got there with the bark from the floor, like from the ground. So now you can see how this big piece is working with my dinner table, and we do have enough space for both of our plates and glasses for dinner, so that I don't have to move everything around. So what you see here is our coffee table, and I'm doing pretty much the same thing with the white tablecloth and adjusting all of the pieces that I decorated in a way that it looks nice to the eye on the coffee table as well. On the left hand side, on that leather seat, you actually can see my not seasonal decorations that I have. So the green candles are usually on my dinner table if there's nothing in season like Christmas or Easter or something, so I always put them in between the seasonal decorations. And the other one is for the coffee table, which is a wooden bowl from Ethiopia that I filled with different kinds of bark also, and woods and all of that. So very natural and very simple. So now I'm just adding the 2 smaller pieces, or the flatter pieces of the bark, to one side of the table. I'm going to put the candle in the middle. And this is, by the way, orange flavored, So I'm not very good with the flavored candles, but this is the one that I like the most, especially when it comes to autumn and winter. So I think I will be fine with the orange flavored candle. On the right hand side, I did put the bark that was bigger and rounder, more voluminous. I hope I said that all right. And now I just changed the angle again so you can see how it looks from that one, and it looks kind of empty on the part of the table that is closer to the camera. Right now you can't really see it, but I guess a couple of seconds ago on the other angle you might have seen it, that it just looks emptier. Just because there's only one piece instead of two, and there's like 5 centimeters more that is just white cloth. So to cover them up and still have the theme going, but still have a unique decoration with all of the pieces, I'm just putting down my favorite parts of colored leaves that I dried off and pressed. So the middle one is raspberry and the outer ones are blackberry. You can see that the leaves are way redder. The one in the middle is more hush hush. So this is how I did my tables. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know anytime. Just throw anything my way. I try to answer it. And here are some photos that you can see them, all of the pieces, like with a good angle and everything. And I hope you enjoyed this different kind of a video. Take good care. Bye bye.